He's a legend, an Oscar-winning icon, the gold standard of acting discipline. But behind Robert De Niro's legendary performances lies a side of him the public rarely sees, a cold, unforgiving silence toward those who crossed his professional line. Today, we're revealing the top 7 actors Robert De Niro hated the most. And trust us, these names will shock you. From on-set tension to full-blown feuds, these stories expose the icy fallout of working with Hollywood's most intense performer. If you thought De Niro respected everyone, think again. 1. Billy Crystal. Analyze this, 1999. Billy Crystal is a legend in comedy, known for his fast improvisational humor. So when he teamed up with De Niro for Analyze This, expectations were sky high. Crystal played a psychiatrist, and De Niro an anxious mob boss. The dynamic on screen worked, but off-screen, it was a completely different story. Crystal's freewheeling style clashed with De Niro's precision. Where Billy looked for laughs in the moment, De Niro had meticulously built the psychology of his character before stepping on set. Director Harold Ramis would later say, "The tension between the two was like watching 2 different movies being made at once." Their pivotal therapy scenes were reportedly difficult to shoot, with Crystal's ad-libbing frustrating De Niro. Crew members noticed they rarely spoke off-camera. Even though the film was a hit and spawned a sequel, the professional coldness remained. De Niro, in private, reportedly said Crystal was playing for laughs rather than truth. 2. Ben Stiller, Meet the Parents, 2000. In Meet the Parents, De Niro starred as the stone-faced ex-CIA father-in-law to Ben Stiller's nervous suitor. The chemistry on screen was undeniably funny, but behind it was a creative disconnect. Stiller favored a light improvisational tone. De Niro, as always, took his character seriously, even when the movie was a comedy. During the now iconic polygraph scene, Stiller's constant improv attempts reportedly annoyed De Niro. After takes, he'd retreat to his trailer, avoiding the usual cast camaraderie. Director Jay Roach acknowledged, "They had different philosophies. Bob treated Jack Burns as a real man in absurd circumstances. Ben leaned into the absurdity." Even as the franchise expanded with sequels, De Niro reportedly became increasingly distant. When asked years later about their collaboration, he responded, "Ben is very good at what he does. We just approached the work differently." 3. Mickey Rourke, Angel Heart, 1987. The tension between Mickey Rourke and De Niro didn't just simmer. It exploded into a legendary feud. On the set of Angel Heart, Rourke played a private investigator opposite De Niro's demonic Louis Seifer. Rourke, known for his volatile energy and unpredictability, was determined to prove himself. But De Niro was not impressed. He arrived on set with every element of his character prepared, including the exact length of his fingernails. Rourke would whisper unscripted provocations between takes to stay in character, which reportedly infuriated De Niro. He stopped speaking to Rourke directly, and only communicated through director Alan Parker. Years later, when Rourke claimed De Niro blocked him from a role in The Irishman, the feud reignited. Rourke called him a crybaby in public interviews. De Niro's team denied the accusation, but the rift remains one of the most public and bitter in Hollywood history. 4. Edward Norton, The Score, 2001. In The Score, De Niro teamed up with 2 other legends, Marlon Brando and Edward Norton. What should have been a dream cast became a powder keg. Norton, known for his own methodical control, arrived with suggestions for scene rewrites and character adjustments. De Niro saw this as a violation of the script and director's authority. Things got worse when Norton, playing a con man faking an intellectual disability, maintained parts of the act between takes. De Niro, within earshot, allegedly muttered, "I've learned from real people, not from acting like them." After that, the two avoided each other. Scenes were blocked to minimize their time together. Even Marlon Brando, who tried to mediate, eventually sided with De Niro. Since then, De Niro has declined projects that Norton was attached to, marking a quiet but firm separation. 5. Cuba Gooding Jr. Men of Honor, 2000, Cuba Gooding Jr., fresh off an Oscar win, brought raw energy and emotional fire to his role as Carl Brashear, the first black U.S. Navy master diver in Men of Honor. De Niro portrayed the initially racist instructor who gradually grows to respect him. But on set, Gooding's style, a combination of physical preparation and intense emotional expression, reportedly left De Niro cold. Director George Tillman Jr. recalled Gooding jumping in place to hype himself before scenes, while De Niro would stand quietly, already deep in character. 6. Jennifer Lawrence, Silver Linings Playbook, 2012, Joy, 2015. When Jennifer Lawrence and De Niro were paired in Silver Linings Playbook and later in Joy, fans expected magic. And they got it. On screen. Behind the scenes, though, Lawrence's casual, instinct-based acting clashed with De Niro's detailed preparation. She's famously anti-rehearsal. He prefers planning every beat. On the set of Joy, an assistant director recalled a moment during an emotional basement scene where De Niro had mapped out a full arc. Lawrence reportedly said, "I'd rather discover it on camera." De Niro's reaction was reportedly one of quiet shock. 7. Sylvester Stallone, Grudge Match, 2013. Sylvester Stallone and De Niro are boxing legends in cinema, Rocky and Raging Bull. But their collaboration in Grudge Match was more respectful than friendly. Stallone later said working with De Niro was respectful but cold. Their decades-long comparisons created subtle but persistent competition. Though no on-set incidents were reported, the atmosphere remained tense. Co-stars described a professional but emotionally distant relationship. The two haven't collaborated again. Honorable mentions: Sharon Stone and Dustin Hoffman. In Casino, De Niro starred opposite Sharon Stone, whose performance was unforgettable. But insiders said their off-screen chemistry didn't match the on-screen fire. Stone's free-form instincts clashed with De Niro's meticulous process. In Meet the Fockers, Dustin Hoffman and De Niro, both heavyweights, reportedly had creative disagreements. No major blow-ups occurred, but friction was real. So what does all of this tell us? Robert De Niro may not yell, throw tantrums, or storm off set, but he communicates everything through stillness, through coldness, through silence. For De Niro, acting isn't about chaos or charisma. It's about discipline, about truth, about bringing the character to life with absolute authenticity. No shortcuts. As his legendary acting coach Stella Adler once said, "Your talent is in your choices." And Robert De Niro's choices? They tell a story louder than words. If you love true Hollywood stories, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more untold drama, behind-the-scenes revelations, and deep dives into the lives of your favorite stars.